When Betty Hinckley Nibley was 6 years old, her family moved to Ogden, forever changing the community for the better.
I was raised with 3 red-headed brothers. My brothers liked to play tricks of all kinds.
Betty's parents, Robert H. Hinckley and Aurelia Seeley Hinckley, insisted that education was a priority.
Well, in my family, it was always understood that I would graduate before I married.
While attending the University of Utah, Betty served as vice president of the student body, graduating with a Bachelor of Arts degree in education. In 1943, while on a blind date, Betty met a young engineering student, Preston Parkinson Nibley.
Would I like to go on a date with his cousin, and he would go with Afton? Now, you see, that didn't quite sit right. But he convinced me, and this handsome man appeared at the door.
In 1943, Betty and Preston were married. Preston was soon assigned to a wartime oil project in Whitehorse, Yukon Territory, leaving Betty behind.
And I got a telegram that said, "There is a waitress job open. Would you accept?" Mother said, "Well, of course you won't go." And I said, "Well, I guess I will."
Betty and Preston lived in the Yukon until the war ended before moving to Menlo Park, California, in what Betty thought was her final move. But Preston's career in the petroleum industry soon took the Nibley family to many locations.
But you know, every move I made, I cried. And I told Press it's a very good way to sell a house, because you go to the door and they're going to take someone through, and you say, "Oh, I love this place. It's the best neighborhood. I don't want to move." And then you cry, and then they want the house right away.
The Nibleys chose to educate their 3 daughters in the United States, which meant Betty often managed the family while Preston was working overseas.
Press went back and forth. Sometimes he'd be gone, 6 weeks to 3 months. And I don't know if I'd do it again, but it seemed right, and the girls say it was right.
Betty was her father's greatest supporter and recalls why he founded the Hinckley Institute of Politics at the University of Utah.
When he came back, he realized the need for intelligent young politicians.
Betty's independent spirit and energy can be attributed to her mother's character.
She took over the automobile business for a time while my father was gone. They felt he had to have something to come back to, and it was to be a short time, and it ended up 13 years. And she was a remarkable woman.
The legacy of her parents lives on through the many scholarship programs Betty and her brothers, Paul, Robert, and John, have established at Weber State University and other institutions.
John and our family established the one at Weber State in honor of our mother. We felt, since she lived and worked in Ogden, that was where it should be.
The Aurelia Seeley Hinckley Scholarship Endowment has grown to a value of over $6 million. 89 tuition and fee scholarships were awarded to students last year alone.
Well, I guess like every woman, I always think my greatest accomplishment is my family. And I have 3 remarkable daughters, you know that.
Weber State University is proud to recognize Betty Hinckley Nibley with a Doctor of Humanities honorary degree.